Being a single mother wasn't part of the story I imagined for myself. I didn't grow up thinking I'd raise a child alone, balancing exhaustion, hope, and responsibility all at the same time. But life doesn't always ask what you're ready for. Sometimes it just hands you a chapter and says, "Start reading." When the father of my son walked away before my pregnancy even had time to settle, I felt something shift inside me, not just fear, but a new kind of strength I didn't even recognize yet. I was inexperienced, unprepared, and honestly, broken in more ways than I admitted out loud. But I also knew this. I wanted my son to have a different kind of love than the one I grew up seeing. I grew up in a home where both my parents were present. They paid the bills, they kept a roof over our heads. But emotional warmth, comfort, affection, those were things we didn't talk about, things we didn't express. And that silence shaped me more than any argument ever could. So when I found myself alone, carrying this tiny life inside me, I made a promise. My son would feel loved in a way I never got to experience, and that promise became my compass. The early years were the hardest physically, emotionally, financially. Waking up before sunrise, getting him ready, tying his shoes while trying to tie my life together, dropping him off at school with a smile I sometimes had to force, racing to work, pulling double shifts, fighting to hold on to jobs that didn't care about my situation, then rushing across town to pick him up before closing time, praying traffic wouldn't make me late. Weekends weren't rest. Weekends were a different kind of hustle. If I couldn't find someone to watch him, he came with me to work. My little boy would sit beside me coloring, listening, learning how to be patient before he knew what that word even meant. And every time he rested his head on my shoulder after a long day, I reminded myself, you didn't fail today. You showed up. And sometimes showing up is the victory. But what people don't talk about is the judgment, the criticism, the quiet whispers from family and friends who think they understand your life better than you do. I heard things like, she should have chosen better. She won't make it alone. She needs to settle down. And as painful as it was, those words taught me something important. People will judge your story without ever surviving your chapters. So instead of defending myself, I focused on becoming the woman my son needed. I taught him kindness. I taught him responsibility, small chores, respecting people, using his words, trying his best. And I encouraged him to do his homework every night, even when I was too tired to think straight. I didn't know all the answers, but I knew effort mattered more than perfection. And slowly, life responded. Through my hustling, my personality, my willingness to help others, doors began to open. One day, a woman I barely knew recommended me for a job simply because, as she put it, you've got a spark, and people can feel it. That opportunity changed everything. For the first time, we had financial stability. For the first time, our life didn't feel like a survival mode. And for the first time, I could breathe. I built connections. I grew professionally. I gained confidence in who I was, not just as a mother, but as a woman rebuilding her identity. My son, now 10 years old, sees a mother who never stopped fighting for him. A mother who cried in silence but smiled in his presence. A mother who refused to let abandonment define her future or his. And that's why I'm sharing this with you today, because whether you're married, single, divorced, or somewhere in between, let me remind you, no one's life is perfect. No one's story is simple. And no one deserves to be judged for the path they are walking. Instead of tearing each other down, we should lift each other up. Instead of assuming we know someone's struggles, we should offer compassion. Instead of complaining about life, we should be grateful for the parts that are still working. Patience matters, effort matters, respect matters in relationships, in parenting, in community. And if you're in a marriage or partnership, don't take it for granted. Love needs communication, understanding, humility, and consistent effort. Two people who choose each other daily can overcome storms that seem impossible. And if you're walking this road alone like I once did, please hear me clearly. You are stronger than your circumstances. You are worthy of rest, love, and support. And your child will grow up knowing how powerful their parents really are. Today, when I look at my son's smile, his confidence, his kindness, I see the fruits of every struggle I survived. I see love that grew out of pain, I see purpose that came from uncertainty. And I want you to know, your story can bloom too. Keep showing up. Keep believing in yourself. Keep building the life your future self will thank you for. Because you are not alone, and your next chapter might just be your breakthrough. Take a deep breath. Move forward with love. And remember, life isn't about having it all together. It's about growing through what tried to break you.